Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to the Foundry Reviews. It is I, Sly, and today John, Ken, Tony, and I are going to be reviewing the third episode of Hawkeye Echoes. How you guys doing today?
Hello.
Woo!
Good.
I'm
Hello.
excited.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
Jesus
It's
Christ.
the most wonderful time of the
Yeah,
year.
Damn right it is.
Fuck me. Yeah, when the show's on. No, this episode was amazing compared to the fucking last piece of shit we just watched.
Better than the two of them combined.
Yes, I would. Yeah, this episode was fucking great. Why didn't they do some shit like this, where like big ass fight, we're showing a bunch of cool arrows and everything like that, you know, doing a Hawkeye shit, you know, that was amazing. Showing some dope chasing stuff, showing some actual like villains that were
Ronin
intimidating.
flashback.
Yeah, like what the fuck? What were they
That
doing
should
the
have
last
been
two
there
episodes?
from the start.
What showrunner do we need to decapitate? Like, what the fuck?
Kevin
For
Feige.
real?
Damn.
Kevin Feet. No, I'm just kidding. No, but this episode was amazing. I just want to say that. Yeah, like this episode was dope. And it, like, oh man, it's just even like the very beginning, the flashback. I mean, see, Sly, I'm starting from the very top this time. So shut up.
Yep, good shit.
The
You'd love to
flashback
see it.
of so at the last episode, at the very end, we saw the leader of the tracksuit mafia, and we get a little flashback about her childhood and her father and her upbringing, and it was a very sad story and a very emotional and just I don't know, I just like it was really fucking good. I felt it, you know, it was good.
Yeah, and they really put you in her perspective, and that's kind of a running theme in this episode specifically is
Mhm.
her deafness, and then also later Clint's like loss of hearing as well. Because like you get parts where you really don't hear much besides like muffled and like bassy sounds in the
Mhm.
background for everyone, and I thought that was really cool because you kind of you get to kind of feel their perspective a little
Yeah,
bit,
it was.
and I thought that was cool.
You felt it like it conveyed in a fucking great way.
Yeah,
Adds
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
really
and the whole backstory was good. I think.
I love the actor that played her father in the flashback as well. He's from the Fargo TV
excellent.
series. Yeah, he's great. He was in the Fargo TV series as a Native American that was like kind of a black sheep with a family, and he was like in Vietnam and killed a bunch of fucking people. He's cool as shit. I love him.
Yeah, he did a great job. He really sold the like relationship that he has with
Yeah,
like, the
it
daughter
was
and
just it's just
It was
so
really
good,
nice.
so good.
It was really nice. And
Yeah.
then we see a bit of her, like she did, like her in, like it showed her a bit in school, but then she really thrived in, like when I think she was in a dojo, probably karate or something.
Yes.
And that's what I don't know, Sai, if you want to talk about it now or later, but that's where that scene that you were mentioning, I think, right, with the uncle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The
You gotta,
uncle.
we hear uncle said, and like the dad is saying, I'm gonna go now, but you know your uncle will take care of you, and you know you see a bit of his hand, and it's heavily, I feel like it's not heavily, but like somewhat implied that, as we were talking about this before, that it might be Kingpin, because just the kind of representation a little bit later on, you also see her when she's a grown up, um like when all the shit goes down where Ronan kills like a bunch of the tracksuit mafia and stuff. Where she's going is called Fat Man Auto Repair, which also kind of implies Kingpin because he's a big dude.
He's a big lad.
Good
So
point.
there's some quite a few things pointing towards him potentially being Kingpin, which would be
Yep.
interesting.
You know, it's really unusual that her father is the leader of the tracksuit mafia. Doesn't that seem odd to you guys?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like
He doesn't seem Russian at all.
they seem very
Right.
out of place here.
Maybe he was appointed leader
Maybe.
or something.
That could
Hey,
be,
did we
yeah.
even like see that they were wearing tracksuits though before her father passed?
That's a very good point. It could be a completely different mob or crew or something like
Right.
that.
He was
Other
wearing
than
a tracksuit.
other than the
father was.
one guy, you know what I'm saying, that does the sign language with her. His name starts with the K. I can't remember.
Kaz.
Kazi or Kazi.
Kazi, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Her
guy
father
seems like he's
wore
the
a
only guy
tracksuit.
from the OC
He did.
crew. Oh, he did?
He did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, then yeah, I guess they have always been tracksuit mafia.
But it's weird to see that, either a Native American or a Hispanic leader is in charge of this, what seems like an Eastern European or Slavic
Russian.
gang. Yeah, it's like, huh, okay, how did this come to be? Unless, yes, you're right. Maybe he was appointed leader because of his expertise in something.
Yeah, or family ties.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, like I said, with Uncle or Kingpin Wilson Fisk,
Potentially.
baby. I'm excited
Could
about
be
that.
interesting.
Yeah, she's deaf. She's got a prosthetic leg. She's like fucking, but yet she's fucking like kicking ass and whatnot. She saw Ronan kill her dad, and that was heartbreaking. That was just like a super emotional fucking scene. I loved it.
That was very cool. I mean, I think did I say this off camera? I think I did. I like how it draws parallels from the first episode where we see Kate's perception of Hawkeye from her point of view. How she has this lasting impression of him as like a role model, spiraling and making her ambitions to be like him. But then her perception of what Hawkeye's done is affected her negatively to where she's built her life around hunting down the murder of her father, which is Ronan.
Yeah,
You know, and it kind of shows like it's a good like comparison with also Hawkeye's internal struggle of like I'm a good person, but I'm also bad.
yeah.
That's
It
actually,
justifies her
yeah, a really
anger.
good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. It's really interesting.
Yeah, so we saw pretty much just is Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. They're all tied up and they're talking to the mafia. And mafia was actually kind of funny here.
They like
actually-
Imagine Dragons.
Very funny.
Yeah, it was actually kind of goofy. I actually enjoyed the comedy this episode. I don't,
Is it like an old Toys R Us type thing?
yeah, it was like an
It
old
looks like it,
mall.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, an old mall.
because they got like
kinda
a
thing.
ball pit and like a bunch like the little springy things with like
The
the
cute little
springy
rides.
animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. They eventually get interrogated by Maya, our deaf leader, and whatnot. And yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
they throw a little sign language in there, which was kind of interesting because it does make sense that Clint would know some sign language since he is now kind of hard of hearing.
Yeah, and
And
you
I think-
saw him practice it with his son a little bit in the previous episode.
And she
True,
scolds him for his lack of like experience with it. She's like, "You
And
rely too much on
relying on it,
technology."
yeah.
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 I was like, I do appreciate that. You know, she's kind of
That's-
just like,
She doesn't have
belittling.
health insurance, you fucking loser.
No,
See,
no, but
remember we just talked about this.
that's actually a thing though. Like, there are some people that are like, because when I went to college, like it was they had like a deaf part of the school like dedicated for like hard of hearing and like completely deaf people, and there are people like that, you know, if they are deaf, they kind of feel as betrayal if you get like implants to like become hearing after
Right.
being deaf and stuff like that, and they're like, "Yo, you're relying on technology. You're
that so?
dismissing the whole like, you know, deaf community and stuff." So it does kind of actually make sense in this context.
That's
I thought that was
interesting.
kinda
You ain't one of us, bro.
Kind of taking
Yeah.
pride, being
Bro.
like, you know, this is how because you know, for all intents and purposes, maybe she was born this way, so she's like owning up to it. Versus someone who maybe was in an accident, like Clint. You know,
Yeah.
all these
That
explosions, he just kind of
he
like, yeah,
didn't go through the trouble like she did, or through the
Yeah.
pain kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were molded by it. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yep.
I was
Um,
raised in the struggle.
But yeah, those actually led up to a fight scene between everybody. Dope as fuck. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it. This
good one.
like that scene, like in the mall between fighting everybody and then them escaping and then car chase. It was fucking absolutely.
Oh, the car chase,
Oh yeah, it
man.
was so good.
Best scene.
There was
Oh,
a
And-
funny part where they're escaping out of the mall and it's like daytime and she goes up to
72
this
Challenger.
this nice muscle car and he's like, "We're not fucking breaking that window. Like, are you crazy?" He's
Yeah.
like, "We're gonna
He's
take
like, that's
this."
a nice car.
He's like, "We're gonna take the hoopty." I was like, "That's
yeah, they take like
that's
a Lincoln.
fucking funny." I'm like, he's got principles and morals and shit. And-
even in the face of death.
yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
funny.
And I think one other thing I'd note just before we move on to the car scene for this was that I noticed that Hawkeye was not taking any lethal shots. He was purposely like hitting him in the shoulder,
Yeah,
or in the
hands
leg,
and
or in the,
legs and
the
stuff.
feet or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
'cause-
He's
stabbed
not
those two
going for
dudes in their
kill shots.
feet.
Like honestly, he's
Yeah.
got bigger fish to fry. Like he wanted to explain to them, like, "Hey, it's a misunderstanding. She's not actually Ronin." That's what he was. That's why he
Yeah.
went there for. You know.
John, did you mean to say he has bigger fisks to fry?
That's pretty fucking good. As long as you don't mention low key again, being low key, then we'll be a-okay, buddy. Yeah, we also
But yeah,
saw
that
like
car scene though, so
Oh,
good.
it was amazing. His ear was fucked up, and so the banter between him and Kate was really fucking funny.
I
Miscommunication,
think
that
we need to
was-
turn this car around. It'd be a lot easier to shoot. You know, it would make this easier if I turn the car around.
It was It was just the timing was good. It was just funny. It was really funny.
And
I
like
liked it.
how she kept popping in though. He would literally be like, "I can't hear you," and then she'd be like, "What's this arrow called?" And it's like, "Why are you trying to talk to him? He can't hear you. Stop."
I think this
Can't
was the
hear
happiest
you.
he was all season because he didn't have to listen to her for the first time.
Me
Yeah.
too. Yeah, we saw a variety of different arrows being used as well, which is pretty
What
cool.
do you call him? The
because-
putty arrow.
Yeah,
the
and there
purple
was
shit?
there was an acid arrow as well as a
Acid
Hank,
arrow's cool.
yeah, the Hank Pym arrow.
I liked the
Ooh,
one that like
that's
yanked
an
everything
arrow.
towards it with the
Oh, the
trees.
Christmas
Oh, the trees.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
The shit
that one
was-
was cool as fuck.
Shit,
The
yeah.
Pym arrow, though. God.
Oh yeah,
bless.
that
That was-
Yeah, the
strategy.
Pym arrow's sick.
So good.
And let's not
I-
forget the plunger arrow.
Yeah, the
He's always
plunger
had
arrow.
those kind of, hasn't he? Like the grappling
What?
ones.
No, it was literally like a little plunger, like sticky arrow.
Okay, and then it was the USB arrow. I don't know if anyone else finished What If. Was that like a reference to What If?
It might be, yeah. I think it might have been.
Maybe.
But yeah, dude, yeah, we got to talk about the Pym arrow real quick. That was so I think I legit like I don't know, gasped out loud or something when that happened.
Yeah, I
like,
was
what
really
the
surprised.
hell?
It was fucking
Like
cool.
holy shit.
I like that.
Like
Yeah, because you see Pym right at the end, and you're like, oh, I know it's gonna either make this thing huge or something.
And especially the Hawkeye point of view, seeing the arrow fall.
yeah, that was so cool.
yeah, it was
That
good.
was so badass.
I really like that segment. That was pretty fucking good. Pretty
And
good.
then they do the classic, the move that she saw him do when she started idolizing him off the roof, and
yeah,
then like
off
grapples to the thing, and
Yeah,
then
they
get
do
on
do the
train.
move.
off
There's
that
tons
bridge.
of parallels. Yep.
Yeah, it was good.
And then they a little more banter on the train where they're talking.
Oh,
and
the
I-
dog.
Literally my favorite moment of the
dog.
entire fucking show right
Yeah,
there.
John goes, watch this.
when
It was
she
so
she
good.
mentions I need to really walk that dog, and then he mentions
He's
that
all cooped up.
yeah, it's fucking
All
funny.
cooped up.
It was just it was the funniest episode too. It was the funniest,
great.
had the most action. It was all around my favorite episode so far,
And then we get the phone call with his son.
which was
Ah,
so fucking sad and heartbreaking.
Oh god.
that hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything you felt a lot in this episode. It was sad as fuck, dude. Yeah, a little with Kate translating and whatnot on the phone and whatnot of him just pretending like everything's okay, and he was just heartbroken in his eyes and stuff, and yeah, it was
And
really
he's like,
sad.
It's okay if you're not back for Christmas, and he's like, oh no, I'm going to be back
Yeah.
for Christmas.
This was the
Uh,
best
I love you more.
portrayal of
I
what
love you
their
3000.
chemistry can be.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
off.
Also, I really enjoy. So we got like a scene back at fucking the mall with all the tracksuit people. I love their moving company, like a bro. Fucking amazing.
Trust
Dude,
it, bro.
yeah.
Trust it, bro.
Trust bro, yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
it Trust it, bro?
I thought it was like a bro. My bad.
It's one of them.
I think that's the tagline.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. I'd liked. So they eventually find somebody and they get his hearing aid fixed, and you see a moment of him like turning it on and off and whatnot to avoid talking to her because she's fucking annoying.
Yeah, in the diner.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
asked for coffee. That's it.
Yeah. She talked about getting like she talked about the costume, like the Ronin costume a little bit.
Yeah. And she comes up with a new design for him, and it was the
Funny.
original like Hawkeye purple outfit. and
Yeah,
he's
with
like,
the
Yeah.
H on
my
there.
wife would divorce me if I wore that, and I thought that
That's
was kind of funny.
It was good. Yeah, the rest of the episode was like really just chill and whatnot, and saw some stuff with Pizza Dog and feeding the dog. You know, of course, love Pizza Dog. He's
Is this
pretty
dog
cool.
supposed to be
Yeah.
lucky?
Obviously,
think-
Cosmo. I'm just kidding.
But I think so, but she's named him Pizza Dog for now.
Pizza
Maybe
dog.
that'll change going forward, but Pizza Dog's pretty acceptable. I'll take it.
Uncanny looking thing.
And then they're discussing some stuff in a taxi. It's like, why would you? That seems a little like they're talking about like I don't know stuff that I
Murder.
don't think you'd want to be talking about in a taxi with someone random. Like
Yeah.
It's just like the Deadpool taxi guy. He's just like, I'm your biggest fan, Hawkeye.
because they're going to her mom's place to
Yeah, the
try to get some
penthouse.
more information.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they think she's linked to the auction and the tracksuit mafia. Her and Jack somehow, and they get caught up. And Jack's like got the Ronin sword up against Hawkeye's neck. He's like, "I got you," and then that's where we ended that episode.
Hell of a
Then we
cliffhanger.
figure out Jack was the Ronin the whole time.
Not just that, we do briefly see another scene. Yeah, with Maya and Kazi. Kazi.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I-
they
Yeah,
talk
they
to
just
each
kind of
other.
argued a little bit. Yeah.
And she's like, "Who's in charge?" And then he's just kind of like, "You are, but I don't think this will make your boss happy." And it's like, "Oh,
I
so
like that one part where he says like, "Hey, you're like you can run a crew like your father says, but your father always put the crew first."
true."
Yeah.
Not my father though.
Yeah, and
I
also
like
her father's crew was obsessed with Imagine Dragons and weren't fucking just comedic relief either. So
I'm really hoping going forward we see some more scenes with Ronin flashbacks. I really wanted, ideally, some like actual fight scene of Ronin, on another rampage, whether it's in Japan or something like we saw.
I bet
in
it'll be like a last episode shit where it'll start the last episode with like, you know, Hawkeye near death, and it's gonna be a flashback of him as Ronin. Da, 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 da. And then we get this big reveal, like, oh, that's what happened. That da, 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 blah blah. Yep, yep. We'll get it.
care to fill in those fucking blanks you just put there?
I don't know what the last episode is,
Oh my god.
but I bet it starts with a big Ronin flashback. I'm
insert
predicting
blah and blah here.
it. Yeah,
Makes sense if you think about it.
and dee-dee-doo, some dee-dee-doos and da-da-das.
Fill in the blahs and we're good.
It sounds like you were
Yeah.
right in the first 2 fucking episodes of this show.
I did write it.
Yeah, I like this episode a lot. I give it a fucking 8, dude.
Oh yeah, I'll give it an 8 as well.
I will
I'd
second
give
that.
it a 9. I think I'd give it a 9. But
Damn.
9.
this one was I really enjoyed this one. It
Yeah,
was-
me too.
there was
This is good.
almost no bad things in this episode.
I was very surprised by how much different this was than the first episode. And Tony talked about the parallels between Maya and Kate as well. Like they're both very young and both impacted. Like it's a different generation of people growing up around the Avengers and around the disasters and whatnot. How it shaped their future and how they go about their future, how they're raised and whatnot too. And it's just very interesting. I like it a lot.
And it'd be great in 10 years when they're doing like another line of superheroes. One of the superheroes, they're gonna be
Oh
like,
God, when we're
I
35.
remember when I was 5 and I saw Hawkeye and Kate driving down the street in a car chase, and it's just gonna be an endless loop of characters recalling 10 years ago when they saw this character who's now about to leave the MCU doing this
Hawkeye,
cool
90 years
thing.
old, fucking making janitor like cameos and fucking Avengers 19.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, so we'll give this official 8.5 then.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
Well, everyone, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Foundry Reviews, some Hawkeye, episode 3 Echoes, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week for some more Hawkeye in the future. Let us know what you guys thought of the episode down below in the comments. And discuss a little bit with us your thoughts on it. And we'll see you later for episode 4, gang. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.